Hello and welcome. You're watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Mona Lisa Rumbai, bringing you the news and events from Meghalaya. Here are the headlines for today. FLU in Nehu campus answerable to Hyderabad on 27 vacant posts. Polling door switches to problem-solving mode in Nongstan. Lady drug peddler with company apprehended at West Garo Hills. And annoyed locals refuses to tread on muddy roads, complains to the DC. And now the news in detail. On the 6th July, the members of the Nyautarap National Youth Front East Khasi Hills along with HNYF Maulai Circle arrived at Nehu campus to meet with the Director of English and Foreign Languages University FLU of Nehu to inquire on the 27 vacant posts of Deputy Registrars, Assistant Registrars, Deputy Librarian and other posts. The main motive of the union to meet with the director is to seek an answer regarding the vacant posts being available to outside state applicants but not own state applicants. Speaking to the media persons, leader of the HNYF East Khasi Hills, Steve Kareem, exclaimed that their motive of meeting the director is to request the discontinuation of the recruitment process since it is not completely fair from the part of the English Foreign Language University to neglect the competent youth in the state. After the meeting, the director met with the assistant director and he informed that the decision is made from Hyderabad and he urged the union to write to the department concerned in Hyderabad.
HNYF naka East Khasi District dekat bat namulai circle pengiwan hang ni bagi yosgo ya kaneka jinglai post jong kaneka English and the Foreign Language University pengiwan hang ni bagi ni ki post ni bagi phak tang Sabah po Hyderabad tegi phak ya kaneki post advertisement tang Sabah tingilap ngio complain ba ya kaneki post bahang ni po Shillong dan advertisement tinak takadau ngiwan hang ni bani kenduk ba director dekat director benda kam semla bani kenduk ni bakadan meeting tinglai kenduk dulu assistant registrar tinglai batai ya ke jing puak ke jongi ba lada kan ni ko post lada kimla ban advertise lang hang ni po Shillong po Meghalaya tingi ni puak bakin num bangin penkhang baik bakanum dan tena kaliang jongi kuat lada kumnum kilek persya tengir minyak dekalenti te ula batai itu register orang lada kuat bagan pesengek ni post dia thot ka application tepo Hyderabad makat kota ka Hyderabad tingin habanya thot kata ka application tingin siap ha tentang katai Shufile umne pha no da kata kanja application mention nang tu ke ga kuat te ngingin le no da kata kam tingin sa pha la daka shiti lena daka email piong ba kana kini post kana kini ba ka post tang ni Shillong na po rijong inang ni kadai tang ka driver kidan tingi driver ha bikim baki pha nang tai kan na po Hyderabad nama nang tai ki pinya ki ong nang ni ngim la amle Long bagi kasih jongi rumah kila bagian kini kam kila ki kasih jongi kibun kini ki bastard ki belanang lasat kini ki deputy registrar ki assistant registrar tangan ki hindi ki hindi officer ni thot ne te kini tang ki hindi baru iba lalu kini ki kilo ki kibun ki assistant ni hadu artnya tuli ki pos ngamlang banjar keteng ne te long ki jongi ru kila ban bikin try kini tengah lingok bah kan urkom bakan ke department hang ni pada ka pha ini ki pos ko balai kre mentan uang ni register assistant ba in charge ni uang kan namar ya kan ni ka English University hang ni kedai ke headquarter kedai hapo Hyderabad hang te dan kata kadau bagi pha hang te nang te control ya kan ni tengi ni beda ngiwan kata kajing sko dia kan boleh ba ya kan ni advertisement ki advertise lang Shillong dia kata ngiwan ban banyak keren bu ni bagan ni director
complain lagi ni kibreu mo kibaya nak sama kibaya kwa kam kwa jam bla biang kijing pule bla pendap kijing pule kilai wan bani kendo habe dei bakne kijing like kibna habe dei bakne kijing like kene ga post habe dei bakne ga department habe dei English and Foreign Language University kilai wa iyo ban wan ya kendo mentai di assistant register mo hiba suciang ke director ke don hapo dang don meeting tinggal iyo banyak keren sibur ke bat iro setenat hi ila kloy ban pedang ni ji keren ni kai kalau ngaba solo ngok kai haba ki pos ki like ma ki pos ki like ong menta kadi ka het na do Hyderabad menta hanir ngidon la ka jong ga yu ke university ke ba ki pelai lang ni ke pos ma like kamur ka jing plelat hani ba kalong bai ta ka plelat tangi kinong bai kamdei ke ba plelat ikini ki khon khasi khara khara jingi bal anang ba start ki ba bun ba i ke jar kam menta ki por nagalyang jingi ka sang ngila yo ban yakran ngila yo ban pej bahai kini ki pos kimdei ki pos kat kumi ki ka yakran te yong ba kan tangan ka pos driver ke ba kadon na bata ki khasi jongi tangi bai taru ni pej ki pos hone kalong hado arfu nyotli ngila pej pat kini ki pos umdei ba ong batang ki khla jai ki bala ban trai ni pos kini ki pos ki baro ki breu jongi ki bala ban trai lada ki yo yang ne kam tamanta na kalyang jongi ka HNF mulai circle hajing dan lang berkais te kajing ngila iyo bania keren badu di asistan mantai ba siang yang mengin sapha daga kot apo khatsan tarik lomba kani ka director kan sapha syati sapo syahid syati sapo Hyderabad ban nakalyang jongki persang hi manra si bania keren higher lor kani ka phang ban plelat iki khon khasi khara jongi glanang ba start bukin yo kam hagani yakini ki kam gi ba hakin ke arfunyo tuli te kum ka sang HNF hi mentang hilabu kabai ka bangin ongi ke director ngila dap ong nei bastan ini pha stay lada kamla ban plelat hi khon khasi jingi kan moto ngin persange ba yakne bat nginang ye bud dien hi yakne kai ga ban long bat kai ga ban jang nang ye bud dien yakne bo hadien bang lai kedu sutanat kecing kran di iro idei khasi basa hi nani mulai hi iro ong ka jingwan jing sia kadiga best plat namar kadiga biang plat namar long ban plelat long ka jingwan sia long ban yo ban barak tian pat long ba kata ka sithi sepo ngila pha este ba kan yo ban yakran ban plelan ti lang iki khon sama jingi ba hagni jing jar kam hagni por.
Minister of Social Welfare, Mr. Paul Lyngdoh, on the 6th of July, reached Nongstoin to meet with the officers of the Social Welfare Department, along with the staffs under its ambit to listen to the difficulties the department faces and the need to meet their different requirements. The meeting of the Social Welfare Department with the Government Minister was held in Vani Hall, St. Peter's, Pendingrai, which witnessed the participation of the Director of Social Welfare, Mrs. C.P. Lingwa, the DC of West Khasi Hills District, Mr. Garrett L.S.N. Dykes, Mrs. V. War, DSWO, Anganwadi officers and others. Addressing the meeting, Lyngdoh exclaimed that this visit as a government minister is not only to complete what needs to be done, but to actually pay attention to the difficulties the department faces and to meet the needs of the department in West Khasi Hills district.
West Khasi Hills kadi district kabla saya shibun kiri crown Wycliffe's ear kadi porjogu amde dang bawo lorong suiem andai ulah pedat ia ka bidi ha kitu por ha kitu istan bila saya di industri bekerja aku bekerja Lyngdoh lugu di kerja ai jadi tujuan ini dia ke por kantor kilong kami dia pun ni ke kedai isabalur bila ni kitkia ekakam inam dei capability tamai ke kawa kad penendoi ia beri marwe ke ye ke jumpi drug addiction dalam kieu ke kami ki jinglin ba penjot dia ke jeng dalam kieu di dalam kamanta ban fight back ban yakun kata sense of mission, kata sense of urgency, bagi Mimla, bagi bagi samla di jogi, kita jod ialah dia, habis nem kita kebakiran day banlong ki assets jom ke Mimla ai ni perlu rumah ni gini, kita mohon ba mungkin mau ya kini tangsi sikit sikit nani net sikit mani jogi man kasih man kerja man ai ni day nado kementerian berat dan kong ikijin setia bagi lang salang ban bejan ya bet kebian jong lang salang ban kemau boleh lakuku kerpa ekeri jong dan shen mai tido we ubru na deli bet yak sibene uang katno kan shongdo bangan tihe ke buku ke sibene na na deli kata dari itu di parlok menang ya sebab menang ya teh bu madan ke confidence ke dismuskan ba da jenya teh ringkat lang jadi iwe ke hi pula padlo kapalo we kalau ngalai da ru de shibata joka kedon joka Dihani kejiwan joni kejiwan jona dan anta dan jono bagi ikendu bagi sebab bagi yosgoi kejinya kejopi kamde tang kejiwan pada program hendai kali shibata nak keba nasno ngadan manyasam bapi kumulong elam wa laju pai bun siat si benda doher juga escape itu but hani halong style naru kisnyami kendai buar diploma ke show class 3 class 2 la serie like snap nadu kita buar masuk tu bagani ya kau yang titir kau pelong kali kecil air dari lebih. But pada kebahagiaan dulu kata kali kecil air jompi yang baik. Who you are is God's gift to you. Who you become is your gift to God. Di bawah ini ngiran ini berai, mereka tambah ingin perhat, ingin yellow katno. Nginya thet katno nginya pedus pa eladi katno nginya perbiang yaki bahyin ba eladi katno.
On the 6th July, a woman drug peddler has been arrested with contraband during a raid in Pulbari region of West Garo Hills on Wednesday night. According to the reports received, police from Pulbari police station had conducted a search operation in a house in Nimaikata village after receiving information on the presence of narcotics. When police raided the house, the two suspects tried to flee but were immediately arrested for a lawless act. Recovered from their possession was 6.51 grams of heroin, a motorcycle and money to the tune of Rs 55,000. The arrested woman had been identified as 46-year-old Romison Nessa and 24-year-old Rahul Islam, both hailing from Nimaikata village. A complaint has been filed against GHADC MDC from Zigzag Unit Akhtar Ali on the 6th July for allegedly abandoning a PMGSY road project which was allotted to him before he became an MDC. Earlier, local people from the area had just recently filed a complaint against Akhtar Ali with a pending road project under the same scheme. This time, the complaint addressed to the South West Garo Hills Deputy Commissioner was filed by the Zigzag unit of the GSMC against the incompletion of the Mahendraganj to Aningpara, Domapara and Katuligri PMGSY road in South West Garo Hills. The incomplete road is posing inconvenience to the local people as it has become muddy and difficult to navigate. Besides, roads building material is lying strewn on both sides of the road, which makes it difficult for people treading on the path. The concerned people urged the Deputy Commissioner from South West Garo Hills region to look into the matter and ensure that the road is completed without further delay.
Garo Hills State Movement Committee, Zigzag Unit, Zigzag to Gatli Rama, Jian PMGSY Rama Watson, or kilometer Chigini Dua, Singapore. Nga spot inquiry rakaha, the spot inquiry rakanyo Ramarang put nga niachum, Ramarang Kagija Galspara Nikurka. Yeah, PM just by Ramako Kayachum or Zigzag GDC 직접 디디시니 MDC 방와 ongong에 좀 스테이 악달랄리 이야 라마코 가기지 갈지파 바로 아직은 고글끈이 비바리에 고글끈이 다리고 증아 디시나바 증아 감텐 코시아하 바로 구피초 증아 executive engineer 나바 나하 얘랑 뭐 마문 디파트먼트랑 액션하자 액션하자 하 우니가면 증아 마이 만자 니가면 가기지 갈지빙아 증아 고 마시나 그다 증아 RT랑 고 하하 RT 가니요 증아 늑나만나 감랑 방인 동안 가기지 갈지파라는 거 증아니까 바로 제 컨택터는 가이제 갈치빙했죠. 야 당가랑코 60% 옥기자. 제가 now within 3 month 바 4 month 자만한 거 제가 마음 리플레이 하루 이야랑코 액션 하자 오데 제가 등당득기 자 그랑코 강겐 하루 within 3 month 바 4 month 자만한 거 제가 마음 리플레이 하루 이야랑코 액션 하자 오데 제가 등당득기 자 그랑코 강겐 하루 제가 강치 제가 와 악다라 증아 무캉티 증나 낙바랑 콘택터나고 증나 낭자 아로 젠 콘택터 시 악다라 알리 거점 와 감랑코나 미 가쟁아 그거 블랙리스트 돈치나 디파트먼트 증아 모았다.
The Khasi Students' Union on the 6th of July under the leadership of Mr. Bayashanlang Kharshanlor, Secretary KSU Nongpo Circle, along with the members went and extend their helping hands by distributing eatables to families in distress who were affected by the natural calamity that befell on them when a landslide destroyed their homes in Umlikadat Nongpo Ribhoi district. Speaking to the head of the family, Mrs. Lucina Lungdo Lungkoi, informed that the mudslide took place on the 4th of July during daytime when there was heavy pouring of rain, and she expressed her gratitude towards God for the mudslide did not take away any soul but only the destruction of property. Bayashanlang Kharshanlor urged other people or leaders to assist the family in distress so that they can once again rise from destruction and support their own self.
Amang dan jaga tiap dan dia kamu telah melemet pat kini tiap ini tu.
Jadi perbaslap ni betul bah?
Perbaslap. Perbajur berbaslap. Pengaji je, cibaji. Saftarik kita perbadang congkai ni. Telong tip tu kan mau bahas jian ni nama don lang bat kun. Te kun pada wan orang yang apa? Oi mail la dan kundo ko yang tengah tap dengan kino kan namar tapor ang mod ban pentra to kulong tang ba blai tip khamba kan yang namar bang skri blai long blai tip kan yang ba hapadang jing jenjat mo
Dia atau sim dan bro ni apa yang?
dan bro dah na po yang namar ya kulong te ya le kai haba hani haying oi gila kai tu
Tip long tajam ni, itu long tu dia pun tip ini ni tip pun pagi lagi perlok untuk borai, untuk cuan long penyerap ini bor berat kan, kemudian juga sang nilai, saya long kerja dulu kami film imla, tambah saya long pagi don begini lap saya bor pat tu dia pun kasih kami lap saya bor dia apa, ini atau saya sih kita menurut tiba kalau itu penyerap penuh itu long kata kita gue dah, mencuba penuh mik long jupor long do tiba kemudian itu penuh Mulai dah. Sampai nak yang jungi ke Khasi Student Union, Nongpo Circle. Kemudian bagi dia yang jentip, bah kadang kau ke Lungying, bah ngat dewi ke jingja, si ane pok ke senang kedai, ke bahap ane pok Nongpo. Kemudian ke jing jur jung slap ke ni pur jur menta, bah ke kendau ke lawan ban ane ban tua ane dia jong ke kendroing ya ke ying ke trong iwi gong hang ne pok snow mo kadai kana yang kaseng man takasngi lawan ban mi yang ni yeng te ni isa dol jong mat ba ka yeng kala julor nomor ba do kala kapatwa na din ka kontro kala rung sus poying te nak yang jing kaseng ro ni dokumen du kata ngatrai ba kade ke jing ri ni sumar dung bli trai kendan umbung thau bol sim lap mi kino jing ja ki so si ngatrai de kat ke jing don kat jungo nomor ba hak de ying ki don ki klung ki dong rian nomor ba tu ka kamra ka ba tua ka kendo ka de ka buju sek pentiak di klung de hat ku singi ka bajah ka sau terik mentau punai ka ta mencis ngi ki don ki klung bang riat ki mut bentia de ngatrai ka la bende ka jing pia stad dung play ba hak tu por ki klem chim na thia pat de ki dangel akai suwi kamra de ba de hak tak por pat bakat kendo nanti na dian kelat wan bentua bat kalawan ban rung lu ndak benyet ya kendo sini spo ying de ngatrai ba nak liang jungi sokmen ba kum na dong ding jap susi namar ba ngada de ba kerja hakapor badan kulung kena ngatrai kala poi segi jing mesau ni suwi benta namar kum hi benta dang jan ru badang jang te hapoka snong nong stun ba kei ka bajah hang tung i ka ditang ka daw ko jing tawa khndo ko rung spo ying de mentah ne ru ka de ka ju ko komja te hang ne pat khem chim na ja no gi jing ja bo susi te nak liang jungi rum tas ni on mi kat ni chuan kit bok riang ya kene long ying bat kunjur ni chuan ban yarap di mar bam mar di kiat ke soit kat di bor bala jugim keseng te lingba jung ke jungwan jugim tas ngiru ni peni lingba gilap plai ko bor siki wei pat ki kunhun ki rusmet ki seng mun terus subhalan ki no ba ki budan ki penta paper ba la ki long ki bala long ba kinwan ban yarap lang na mar ba kadi ka ying ru ba sem jinjar du kata namar ba ki de ki ying ki long ying beduk besuk ginde berbet bebiang te kerpat ki no ki rusmet ki kunun seng na ki nomi khman jong kana ka konstitusi jungi rupa la long ka bala ki rap lam tidak kon soit ka di bor jung bala jungi khang ba ki biang ban syong ban sa kum julong hak por ki peladap.
Family members, relatives, friends and neighbors, along with priests of the Catholic Church, accompany the lifeless body of Mrs. Virginia Kaji in a funeral procession from her residence at Demthring Nong Thamai to the cemetery of the Catholic Church at Nong Shillong. Before departing from the final rites and burial, a solemn service was held where loved ones delivered eulogies which touched the hearts of many present. Condolences were given to the deceased family, especially to Reverend Father Daniel Kaji, SDP, her beloved son. The Holy Mass at Divine Saviour Church, Nong Shillong, was presided over by Father Reverend Paul O. Lingkot, Provincial Salesian in Shillong Province, who gave a eulogy at the funeral and proclaimed the word of God, comforting the family at loss, while the choir sings the song As the Deer Pants for the Water. The funeral was a somber affair, with tears and heartfelt tributes to the departed soul of Mrs. Virginia Kaji and the deceased family.
Virginia, James, a prayer angel by Haye Joey. A bakery, Gringo, or an Hawaii, so long as the one. He grew up with a Western run. He kept John Bray to open up in a being married. Can you enjoy what Houghton go Bray? Why, Yaki, the sun? Bakapage ya kapal baru tinggi ko jumlah bosku. Ngarap secara jing kemen kawa krau kawa i kumpri sen ko jumlah bosku iko sama jing solan ya pang ya hei bagi para jumlah para Daniel pagi Daniel bayi sen di bar kecil soran sisa kawa kami ni ayah bagi orang tapi kuma bertepi nal resmi kawa mandi lalu ilau jumpa hakai nyuteri benai ju masya nyuteri benai ju mans mangasyan bar benda si benai gasyan kecil kau jadi bubu karena pasti. Lalu dari sini pemerintah mansmain asyai di ban taiko juni. Bagi lagi sekundu harus ni bahkan terkeci bermenai pun jadi si bergelap sia di bawah bor di jam pada lo. Banyak kecil sulam di bor untuk bagi. Menjadi para jumpa semua for dan penting si Malaysia. Bagi dorangkan sedap jumpa for berlah. Mendapat mari idana yang mari. Tik si nai kebawani ia kedua beriba hableng. Keriwa mani lima batsutu yang kecil maya kau beri oleh yang ini kau beri pada tak benda kau kau beri berai kau mani beri jauh paling kau beri kecuali kalau kau mencari dan kedua cuma ini kau mencari. Tiga ini kau mani ngompi di dalam hati kerana kau ukur jadi para Daniel dalam kaji lawan syahmat kumar besok rampang bayi pipa jualan ini seni siang ini ada jual bayi mana boleh dilalui pilau syakri jangan. But para Daniel dah cuba kita recik kacung bayi berkini kita ada tenti pada ciri kejungki dan kejingkerman kejungki dan kejingai kewaskan kejungki kira ayah jauh kumur. Wat ulang tak syakri jumlah. Badai ini kalau John Bosco jual, badai ini kesan kalau ayah yang jauh ukur, balong lindung dan balong premium, mama ini ngan senti ya cara jauh le jangka. Kan diciptakan ini John Bosco uang yang ini kau jauh. Badai kita ini kalau tua beri makan kepang di para Daniel balong syakri jauh. Pada benda beri wai kepang hakai kesan jadi kerana cinta jadi lindo jadi kedunia orang ketri berseterang orang pergi pai jumpai pai para Daniel ialah syakri ia pergi di balong jam di para Daniel berani baju air tiga menit tiga yang bandai nanti kisah kemudian bandai waktu kamu board office meeting balik ban air kisah kemudian penting ini diwaiban.
Rau Brahma Pau Rau Kun Rau Mensi Mukui.
Kejing dawai kerpat. Nagabenca ili meni para jungi me jungi punya dawai who try Yesus Kristus balaong ngalong jungi pat ke kejing jaru bangit hanga udiam bala dak yap jaru bayem bat bangit hanga puna biak lanu
Bab Jopi kalau ngikat pad emi kutrai. Kutrai mula pentingannya kemartha kemaria hapdeng kejing sengsi jungi. To dan lembat ni kebala do no ya i Virginia kaji wato nyat no ik umat jeng itu kebiyam sengsi ni kerpa de me gutrai melayam sengsi hajentap ula sarus upadok jome to pentingan nyengi ha kejing sengsi ni kerpa de me gutrai mela permi pat iki bayap to ai kejing embam jukot ai ni hemani para jengi ni kerpa de me gutrai mela sat ku ye ni hemani para jengi ha ke baptisma bamla pensle i dau mensi mekoi to ai ben don lang mentabat baro kiriu ko jome ni kerpa de me gutrai to pentingan nyengi ha kejing sengausi jengi ha kene kejing klat no jengi to ai bara kejing ngai kan pentingan nyengi barba kejing imbam jukut kan ai jing kerman nyengi ni kerpa de me gutrai
angel berkira koi baro tau Kristu try jengi mo ikikli nagamenta kejing kerpu bag jubab ti kalong amen ablay try kan radu isne yengi metep ya kejing sengausi kabaktang yengi kabakta yengi wan mela kloy man terus ngap ikipat jengmi kibapai syami ha kejing don kam jengki batu pens kam ya kejing kermen jengi ha kejing it baklam pu jengmi dau
Anunan poisha mari berdoa
Observer Research Foundation ORF Climate Think Tank and Meghalaya Basin Development Agency MBDA Government of Meghalaya organized a G20 conclave Nature Solves, a new framework for our sustainable future at Shillong. Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma addressed the conclave and said that he had a discussion with an expert who has pointed out to him that the entire Arctic will melt in the next 8 to 10 years and the trade routes will change, and it was important to study the changes. Talking of a decade, and the Arctic will melt, and it opens up a challenge and ways we look at things from now on, he added. Talking about climate change, he said that it is important as a government and as society to realize that climate change is real and that one has to find ways to adapt and mitigate climate change. He further advocated that Northeast needs to look at certain issues collectively, and climate change is a subject which requires collective decisions. There is no boundary of states for climate change. People need to come up with certain policies and discuss environment-related issues collectively.
In matter of a day. Now we had 2014 when the NGT came and they banned the unscientific mining that was going on in Meghalaya. Now this mining has been going on for 200 years by the people in that exact same way. May not be the best and the safest for the people, but that is what was happening. And suddenly in 2014, you just come in and you say, well, this is illegal. There are lakhs of families that are dependent on this particular livelihood program. Now, I'm not trying to justify. A very, very strong believer in community-based governance and community-based society, and that has been actually one of our greatest strengths. And even today, almost all of the activities that take place at the grassroots level, the community leaders, the village leaders, they play a very, very important and crucial role. That is something that I feel is a kind of an institutional setup that we have. And it really allows us to make things happen at the grassroots level. So for example, other states, they have the panchayati system in India. We have our community-driven systems which works equally good or maybe even better in some cases, because a form of trust is there, a form of discipline is there, a form of traditional aspect is there. And this is something that I strongly feel can be replicated in many other parts. As I said, the panchayati system is doing that, but I guess the overall aspect of tradition is missing from the panchayati system. And I feel the model of Meghalaya could be something that could slowly start coming into the system. And if we can, as we mentioned to you, we have started mapping and working with the villagers in almost everything. So starting with the village employment councils, which is of course Government of India's mandate. We have the health councils, we have the volunteers for the environment, we have volunteers for the development aspect. Today, I think Meghalaya will be one of the first states where we will actually have a volunteer in every 6,800 plus villages that we have. Which means that we will be connected directly from development aspect directly to the 6,800 volunteers who will each be given technological support, a tab or whatever technology platform, and we will be connected to the grassroots directly through a technology platform where we will integrate all of these aspects. Now, it sounds very simple and very generic, but the impact of this is huge. That while we move forward, while we are working on a consumption-driven economic policy, and of course India has been very aggressive, and so has Meghalaya been. Sometimes the target of putting our GDP in front really sometimes blurs the other issues that are there. And therefore, as was mentioned by the Joint Secretary, that's important for us to look at it from all the angles. Can we continue to have our GDP growth the way we would want it? Can we continue to have the consumption, but at the same time, can we balance it out and push it with green economics? Can we push it with entrepreneurship that is more focused on green technology? For example, we are at a very, very crucial stage, I want to share with all of you, where as a government for many, many years we have faced a huge problem with power and electricity. Even now today we face that problem. And every time we sit and discuss this as a cabinet and as with officials, the big question mark in front of me is that we have huge deposits of coal. So why don't we start a thermal plant so that I can resolve this issue once and for all in the next 2 years? Or do I go with a decision where I say, well, let us see how we can balance it out and maybe focus on solar energy and other forms that are there, which may not be as stable as a thermal plant. But, we have the entire issue of carbon emission and this entire technology shifting from coal-based thermal plants into greener energy. And hence, even decisions like these for a government at these crossroads that we are in are very, very important. And these are the decisions that we need to take at every level. So it's not just the government, even as individuals, you take those decisions at your own personal level, at the family level, at the community level. And hence, I think what is important is that we need to face the reality, we need to realize that this is real, it's happening. We need to realize that there are challenges where we need to balance between the livelihood that we need to create, because economics is important. But at the same time, while the economics is being created, how do we balance it out with green and sustainable energy, technology, designs and policies that we need to create? So that's really where we are, and I hope that the deliberations will help us, because let's be very clear, we cannot ignore the other aspects also.
The humidity has changed, therefore we don't have any more oranges. Very sad, but it's a reality. It's not rhetoric, as I mentioned. Last winter, I went to my village, and when I was looking for an orange for my cousin, I said, I want to have some local oranges. He had to go to the shop to buy an orange. So that is the change that has happened in the last 35 to 40 years. You ask the local farmers with the traditional wisdom, they'll say only one thing, the soil has changed.
So viewers, that is all we have for you today. Until we meet again, thank you for watching.